David Ligare, Unearthing the Ethos of Arête. Arête means the noble and extraordinary natures of human beings and the potential for doing wonderful things. Paintings that I do for any one of the exhibitions that I do are usually have a theme, or at least are connected in some way, so that the paintings themselves can carry on a conversation. In the case of this exhibition, this idea of the tripartite criteria, the three elements, and they can be any number of elements, and over history that idea of the number three creating a whole has come down to us from, well, say like Plato, whose criteria for a work of art was orthote, sophilia, and charis. Other artists like Vitruvius, the Roman architect, said that a building had to have three elements. It had to have firmitas, utilitas, and venustas. He was clearly thinking about Plato when he said that, because his criteria is strength, the strength of the building, the usefulness of the building, and the beauty of the building. In this particular painting, the number three is represented by the triangle in the ground that the philosopher is pointing to. And then, of course, there are three students. And so I use this number over and over again in the work that I do, sometimes overtly and sometimes very subtly. The name of the painting is A Specific View. And the specific view is my criteria, my thinking about what a painting ought to be about. And in the case of this particular painting, the idea is scientia and arte and venustas, and they mean knowledge, that a painting should be about knowledge. It should be about skill, the skill of the artist, and it should be about beauty. Francesco Petrarch on Mont Ventoux, which is a mountain in the south of France near Avignon. And in 1336, Petrarch, who was a scholar and who was a poet, he climbed that mountain, as I say, in 1336. And he was, as I say, he was a scholar, he was a poet, but he was also the father of humanism. That idea that we embrace rational knowledge, that we embrace empathy towards others, that we embrace integrity of your life, your profession, or whatever. And all of these kinds of things that make us really good and integrated human beings. The painting is called Brunelleschi and Donatello in the Ruins of Rome. And about 1410, 1403, 1410, somewhere in there, the two of them went from Florence down to Rome. They were both young men, and they went down there to study the ruins. And they were both artists, and very, very, really great artists even when they were young men. But they went down to learn from the past, and Brunelleschi began measuring all of the ruins down there and came up with a whole series of ideas and drawings and such that he brought back to Florence and basically helped to create the Renaissance at that point. And the Renaissance, the importance of the Renaissance is that it was created by looking really, really carefully at the ideas of the past and bringing them forward. And so that's the importance of Brunelleschi and Donatello in the ruins of Rome. It was a moment, a year. Basically, they were down there for a year, and just really learning everything that they could from that experience.